Some fought for their greatness, others simply inherited power, but all of these men made history. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most famous kings in history. For this list, we looked at the male monarchs who epitomized their era or changed the course of world history. Many of these kings were celebrated in life, others were maligned, and some were of little significance in their own day. Yet all of their legacies have stood the test of time, making them iconic symbols of kingly rule.
It's no delicacy nowadays. No consideration for others.
Number 10. Frederick II of Prussia. His father gave him brawn, his mother gave him brains, and with these, Frederick II turned Prussia into a major European power. His hard-fought victory in the 7 Years' War doubled Prussia's size and international clout. And his absolute yet enlightened approach to rule saw the implementation of new educational and legal reforms within his country. Admired by kings, adored by his subjects, Frederick brought greatness to Prussia and in doing so became Frederick the Great. Number 9. Haile Selassie I. His lineage traced back to King Solomon, and he's considered a god in the Rastafarian tradition. Emperor of Ethiopia, Haile Selassie ousted Italian colonizers and ushered his country into the 20th century. Known for his ornately regal garb and mysteriously kingly gaze, Selassie introduced many progressive reforms, especially with respect to foreign civilization, modernizing his country. Yet he ruled like a medieval despot and was overthrown in 1974. The last king of Ethiopia, his reign marked the end of a 3,000-year-old dynasty. Number 8. Tutankhamun. A child king who reigned only 9 years, Tutankhamun played a minor role in Egypt's long history. Yet his burial site is one of the only intact tombs ever found, revealing a wealth of extraordinary artifacts that shed new light on the ancient Egyptians, which has made Tutankhamun an iconic symbol of this mysterious world. Despite being involved in several building projects and making attempts to improve relations with other kingdoms, he was a ruler of little consequence in life. However, the discovery of his tomb made King Tut a legend 3,000 years after his death. Number 7. Peter I of Russia. The Tsar inherited an inward-looking medieval kingdom and turned it into a powerful, modernized empire. Peter the Great improved his country's military, streamlined governmental systems, implemented education reform, and expanded Russian territory along its eastern and southern borders. Though his efficacy as a ruler often crossed the line from proficiency to tyranny, Peter I is known for catalyzing his country's progress and re-establishing Russia's status as a major player on the international stage. Number 6. Hammurabi. Want to make history? Write stuff down. The 6th king of the First Babylonian dynasty, Hammurabi is best known for his famous legal decree, consisting of 8-foot-high carved tablets and one of the earliest examples of codified law ever found. Written in the Babylonian vernacular, the Code of Hammurabi is famous for its eye-for-an-eye approach to justice. Though modern lawmaking is generally less brutal, Hammurabi is still celebrated as one of the earliest known lawmakers in the civilized world. Number 5. Charlemagne. Fierce warrior king and formidable political strategist, Charlemagne unified most of Western Europe through a series of bloody military campaigns. He attached himself to the last vestiges of ancient Rome by working to preserve Latin texts and enforcing Christianity throughout his vast territory. He promoted literacy and established a network of diplomatic emissaries that centralized power and established his Carolingian Empire. The medieval king with modern ideas, Charlemagne's innovations built the foundations of contemporary Europe. Number 4. Cyrus II of Prussia. His life was chronicled by Herodotus. The Bible holds him in the highest esteem. Cyrus the Great built the Achaemenid Empire, holding dominion over the largest kingdom in history. With a territory that stretched over 3 continents, Cyrus's military innovation and political ingenuity was felt across most of the ancient world. Inspirational to subsequent conquerors, a hero of the Persian Empire, Cyrus the Great is a central figure in the history of Eastern and Western civilization. Number 3. Alexander III of Macedon.
Alexander, there's another ancient law of kingship. To trust no one. And to learn how to be alone.
He had a kingdom at 20 and an empire by 32. Alexander the Great was a military genius whose territory spanned from the Adriatic Sea to the Indus River. A man of legendary vision, Alexander toppled great dynasties, built new cities, and promoted the spread of Greek ideas and culture throughout the ancient world. A celebrated hero of the classical age, Alexander's rise to power was swift and short-lived, but his legacy resonates even today.
What every warrior has known since the beginning of time. Conquer your fear! And I promise you, you will conquer death!
Number 2. Henry VIII of England.
Hear ye, hear ye. I, Henry, by the grace of God, King of England, Ireland, and France, do hereby...
Stop! I cannot be that while you are here, for I would be a liar. During this summit, I am simply Henry, King of England.
He may have started the English Reformation, but let's face it, Henry VIII's 6 wives are why he's famous. Highly educated and charismatic, Henry was also extremely cutthroat, literally. Political enemies were beheaded, and personal foes often suffered the same fate. His marriages to Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard ended at the executioner's chopping block. Though his personal troubles were motivated by the desire for a male heir, Henry VIII would come to father 2 of England's most famous queens.
I still don't care. I ordered you to get someone else. I want her dead. I want it over with, finished. Go and do it, or by God's blood you'll join her.
Before we crown our pick for number 1, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1. Louis XIV of France. He built the Palace of Versailles and embarked on a series of costly wars. Though he wanted to project an image of power, Louis XIV symbolizes the frivolity of 18th century monarchical rule. By taking opulence and absolutism to their extreme, some argue Louis XIV thrust France into financial ruin, which led his country down the road to revolution. Called the Sun King in life, his legacy casts a long, dark shadow, making him the most famous and notorious king in history. Do you agree with our list? Which magnificent monarch or royal renegade needs more attention? For more historical top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
All source and no substance.